guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Catherine, and today's video will be a one product review on the JCat Aquasurance Compact Powder Foundation. This is what the packaging looks like, and then this is what the actual product looks like outside of the packaging. I got the shade Natural. I'll show you guys what the product looks like on the inside. So in my last video, I did have nails. Don't look at my nails. Right now, in this whole mess, we are in quarantine. Coronavirus or COVID-19 is rampant right now. So me and millions of other people are in quarantine at our house. I think I've been in quarantine for about a million days. Too many days to count, but I think since like the 27th of March, today is I think April, I don't even know, I don't know why I'm looking around, April 4th, maybe, I don't know what day it is, honestly. It's sometime in April. I think it's the first or second week of April. But with all this madness going on, unfortunately, I did get laid off from my job. If you watched my first video, I used to work at a law firm. Now I don't, because I got laid off due to coronavirus, but I thought I might as well just go ahead and film my second video and continue filming for you guys. I really enjoyed doing my first one and had a lot of fun doing that. So I just recently got this foundation, and I have been trying it out in quarantine for the past couple days. My nails, obviously, since I'm in quarantine, I can't go get them done, so they look awful, so please do not judge my nails. And that's why it took me a while to open this, because I can't open this without nails. But this is what the product looks like. You do have your mirror up at the top. It's just kind of a standard compact foundation, powder foundation, and then you do have your sponge underneath, obviously, that I've used. Usually with products like this, you don't use the sponge, or the sponges aren't that great. But with this one, that's all I've used, and I love it. So yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys this product. I've really been liking it. I did bring out also, I have this foundation as well, the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin powder foundation, blurring powder foundation. This one is a little bit dark for me, so I haven't been wearing it. But this is what it looks like. And I think I like the Aquasurance more than the Makeup Forever. I can't wear the Makeup Forever that often because the shade I got is too dark. I bought it online and just did not do a great job of picking my shade. So I think I like the Aquasurance more, but if you guys have tried out this foundation and you like it, you don't like it, let me know why you don't like it. Like I said, I've only worn it a few times, and they've all been inside my apartment for just, you know, a few hours. I haven't really been able to try it outside or under hot temperatures or humidity or anything crazy like that. So I know they were people on YouTube are kind of saying that this Aquasurance is kind of a dupe for the Makeup Forever, because the Makeup Forever is a little bit more expensive. Obviously you can get Makeup Forever at like Sephora, stuff like that. And I think this was around $38, $39, maybe into the 40s. And this I got from Ulta, and I believe it was $12 or $13. This is a drugstore foundation. So let's go ahead and get started with the video, and I will let you guys know how I feel about this Aquasurance powder foundation. Okay, so I did go ahead and prime. I used the same primers that I used in my last video, my first video. These are my go-to primers that I love. The e.l.f. Putty Primer, and then my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base Primer all over the face. And then I just went in with this setting spray, the Pixie Rose Glow Mist Spray. I just spray that onto my e.l.f. sponge and just pat that into the face. I really like that. As I said before in my first video, I like dewy, glow from within kind of skin. And I really like this spray that kind of helps me achieve that look. So I'm gonna go in with concealer first, because with this powder, you don't want to do powder, like a powder foundation, and then do concealer on top of that. It'll kind of look strange, I think. I mean, I haven't tried it, but I would assume that it would look strange. So I'm gonna go in with my 2 concealers. My e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, not the matte. I like the hydrating one way more. And this is in the shade, I'm sorry, Light Peach. My Tarte Shape Tape, Light and Light Medium Honey. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with those underneath my eye and kind of the high points of my face. And then we'll get into cream contour. Okay, so now that I have my concealer done, I'm going to go in with my cream contour. And the 2 products I'm going to use for that are the Maybelline Superstay Multi-Use Foundation Stick. This is what I used in my first video, or my last video. I guess I could save that for both. And I used the shade Toffee Caramel. This is what it looks like. I don't use this sponge, I just use my regular e.l.f. sponge to blend it out. And then I did go back to my Wet n Wild contour makeup stick. This is in the shade Call Me Maple. I know in my first video I used the LA Girl cream contour, and I do still like that one, but I think I like this one a little bit more. I think I like stick instead of like the actual wetness of the contour. I prefer this more than that first one. So I'm gonna go in, and this shade is a little bit darker than this shade, so it kind of balances each other out. I'm gonna go in with both of these, and then we will move into the star of the show, which is the Aquasurance powder foundation. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the foundation. I have done my concealer and my contour and blended all of that out. So we're gonna get into the foundation. Again, I got the shade Natural. When I was watching Casey Holmes' video, because this is who I saw that tried it and liked it, she had trouble with her shade, a little bit of trouble with her shade. So when I was buying it online, I was kind of weary about getting any of the shades that she got because it did look so dark on her. And I did believe that she said that it oxidized on her, or it did just get darker on her as she continued to wear it throughout the day. So I didn't want to get something that was super dark, but online, trying to find your shade is always very hard. And I do believe there's only 13 shades, which is not a lot to choose from. So I went with the shade Natural. Again, this is what it looks like. And then you have your sponge underneath. So I'm gonna take the sponge. This is what the sponge looks like. It's obviously been used. And I'm just going to swipe it in here just a few times, and you can see that it covers the sponge. It is pretty high coverage. I mean, for a compact foundation, for a powder foundation, it does provide a lot of coverage, which is very nice. So I'm just going to start applying this to the face and just kind of painting it on. And you can see, I mean, you can see how full coverage it is. But I mean, you can see like that does not match my neck. So I will have to take this foundation down my neck just to match. So I'm just going to apply this all over the face and kind of give you a close-up of how it looks on my skin, on my pores, after I'm done applying it. Now when it comes to underneath the eye, I will take this powder and put it underneath the eye just because I don't want my eyes to look white, too white, and not match the rest of my face. But if you don't want to do that, obviously you don't have to, you can just use a translucent powder under your eye, and I will go back on top of this with a translucent powder just to kind of brighten things up a little bit. But it's totally up to you, whatever you want to do. I prefer to just go ahead and go in with this powder and then go on top with the translucent powder. Okay, so this is what the skin is looking like, as close as I can get you guys. It does look very smooth on the skin. I don't see anything weird around my nose. I see pretty good coverage. I don't necessarily see anything that I wouldn't like. You know, like I said, I have used this foundation a couple of times. Not been able to get a crazy wear test out of it. But, you know, I do like the way that it looks. I would say that it's a little bit more matte, which isn't something that I'm crazy about, but you know, I can always make it a little bit more dewy, a little bit more glowy by the products that I use. So I do like this foundation. I think I do like it a little bit more than the Makeup Forever. And you know, powder foundations are great for many different things. They're a lot faster to put on than I feel like liquids or really any other types of foundations. And they're a lot easier to manipulate, I feel like. So I really like it. So we're gonna see how kind of other powders sit on top of it, loose powders, bronzers, blushes, kind of sit on top of it, and then how we like the finished product. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the translucent powders and kind of show you guys how I deal with the under eye when I am using a foundation powder. Before we move on, I do want to talk a little bit about just what the packaging says and what the foundation is about. So it says it's supposed to minimize the appearance of pores. I don't feel like my pores are very big or look very big. I wouldn't say that it minimized my appearance of pores, but I wouldn't say that it made them look larger either. It says it absorbs and balances excess oil, innovative technology with water lock system to maintain moisture within the powder, and provides medium to full coverage. I would definitely agree with that. This is very easy to build up, but very easy to kind of get too much with, but still not look cakey. And then it talks about the sponge. Sponge is antibacterial that delivers airbrush effect for a flawless finish. And then pro tips, it can be used wet or dry for fuller coverage, damp, and use the sponge applicator. So if you want it to be a little bit more fuller, I didn't read the box, so I didn't know that. If you want it to be a little bit more fuller coverage, you can dampen the sponge, and it will give you a little bit more fuller coverage if that's what you're looking for. I like this amount of coverage. If I wanted to, I could go in with more, but I'm okay with this, especially with, you know, us putting more products on top of this. So I did run out of my Coty Airspun, and with us being in quarantine, I'm not, that going to CVS to get Coty Airspun is not essential, so I can't do that. Also, the last time I did get out to get a prescription from CVS, or from Walgreens actually, they did not have it. They didn't have the shade, the translucent extra coverage, which is the only shade that I use. So, because I did check. So, I had this in backup, which is the Beauty Bakery Flower, the setting powder. It comes in that cute little package. I don't not like this, but it's not my favorite. Coty Airspun, hands down, favorite powder ever, totally recommend. This one is okay. This is in the shade Oat, so it's just translucent. This is what it looks like. I don't mind it again, but I mean, it's not my favorite. It does have one of those things that you can close so the powder doesn't get everywhere, which I didn't close, so the powder did get everywhere. But I'm just gonna take my Morphe sponge and just kind of dip into the powder. This one is pretty light, so I'm not gonna use a crazy amount. And just go right under the eye and set on top of where I already put that powder foundation. This will just kind of brighten things up and then maybe add just a little bit more coverage and a little bit more smoothness to the face. And then also this way I know that my concealer is set and is not going anywhere. I am gonna take my Morphe M536, my little bullet brush, and take some powder and just kind of swing that under my eye and on my eyelid. Then I'm gonna take my large fluffy brush and I'm just gonna dip into that setting powder one more time and just kind of take that on the neck to blend. Next, we're gonna go into my favorite part, the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. This is what I used in my first video, my last video, just to kind of give the face a little bit of a glow. So now that we are done with our setting powders, we're gonna go into our bronzers, and I have two bronzers and a contour. The first bronzer that I have is the Essence Sun Club Luminizing Bronzer, and this is in the shade 20 Sunkissed in California. This is what it looks like. I have hit pan. This is a nice warm bronzer that I really, really like. I'm gonna go in with my Sonia Kashuk brush and just swirl it around. Okay, next we're gonna go into the Butter Bronzer. This is in the shade Sunkissed. This is what it looks like. And I'm gonna go in with my just large Morphe brush and bronze up the face just a tiny bit more. I don't like to use a ton of bronzer when I'm using this powder foundation because it can oxidize and can get a little bit darker. So I don't necessarily like to use a ton of bronzer to bronze up the face. But I gotta use my Butter Bronzer, so. Okay, so I just wiped off my foundation because it was getting annoying on my lips. So now that I have done my two bronzers, we're gonna go into contour. I am using a new product to you guys, but not to me. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Professional Contouring Palette. This is what it looks like. I don't use this. I think this is supposed to be a highlighter. I just use this contour shade. It's a nice ashy contour, which is what I prefer. This is in the shade Ashy Radiance. So I'm gonna take my contour brush, which is, if I can find it, my Morphe Y9. This is what it looks like. And I'm just gonna dip in there and contour my face. Okay, contour is done. Now we're gonna go into blush. I have the LA Girl Just Blushing Blush in this shade Just Glowing. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna take my Morphe blush brush and just go in with some blush. Okay, next I'm gonna take my powder, my original setting powder from my Beauty Bakery, and I'm just gonna dip some into the top and carve my cheeks out. I do let it sit there until the end of my, let my bake sit there until the end of my process, until the end of my routine. But I just do it to carve my cheekbones out. So I'm gonna go from the outer corner of my mouth up to my ear. And down. And just pat. And again, let that sit there. And it will leave a nice kind of to snatch your cheekbone. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with my Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. This is in the shade Baba Banana. That's cute. So hard to open these without nails. I'm just gonna go in with my bullet brush again and just go right underneath my eyes. I don't bake with this. It says you can bake with this, but I don't. I just set right underneath the eyes, and it allows for a little bit more coverage as well as brightness. Okay, after that, I'm gonna go back into my butter bronzer, my Sun-Kissed butter bronzer from Physicians Formula, and just go in with my crease brush, an eyeshadow crease brush. I use my Morphe Y16. I'm just gonna dip in there just a few times and go into my crease and just kind of create some windshield wiper motions just to put some color in there and make my eyes not look as dead and give them a little bit of life. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with some highlighter. I'm gonna use two products, my Makeup Revolution Quad, which I used in my last video, and I'm going to take my double-ended Mally Beauty brush. I'm gonna use this darker side for these two shades up here. Just go back and forth and put those right at the tops of my cheeks. And then I'm gonna take this new product that I've really been wanting to try, that I really saw Casey Holmes speak super highly of. And it is the NYX High Glass Illuminating Powder. This is in the shade Moon Glow. This texture of this highlighter is nothing else, like nothing else I have ever seen in my life. It's very interesting. It's almost like wet, but it's not. So I'm just gonna take that on just a highlighting brush. This is what it looks like. It's one I got off of Amazon. I'm just gonna dip in here just a few times. I mean, you can see when you dip into it, it almost leaves a weird dent. Like it's almost like it's like putty, but it's not. It's very weird. It's very strange, but it gives a beautiful glow to the skin. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put these on the high points of my cheeks. How pretty that is. And then next I'm gonna go in with a eyeliner, and this is an Essence eyeliner, and the shade is called But First Espresso. It's a dark brown eyeliner, and what I like to do with this is I like to go right in the tight line of my upper eyelid, just to kind of create that, when I put my mascara on, there's no spaces, just to create that kind of closeness of the eye. And I don't like to necessarily use black because it's so harsh. The brown kind of gives it a little bit more of a more natural look. So that's why I like to use brown. You can use whatever color you'd like, but that's why I prefer to use brown. So I'm just gonna put that right up there. This is not a bad eye pencil, and I believe it was like a couple dollars, if that. Essence is a great brand that is very cheap, so. Okay, I've got that in the eye line. Next, I'm gonna go into brows super quick. Same product that I used in my first video, the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim in the shade Blonde. I'm just gonna do that super quick. We'll get into mascara, lips, and then we'll be done. And I'll give you my final thoughts on the Aquasurance foundation powder. Okay, so now the brows are done. We're gonna move into mascara. I finally got an eyelash curler, so I'm super happy about that. I got it when I ordered my Aquasurance foundation. It is just an e.l.f. plain eyelash curler. I think I paid $3 or $4 for it, and I absolutely love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes, throw my mascara on, and we'll wipe away this bake and get into lips. And that'll be the end of the video. Okay, so mascara is on. I have fully wiped away the bake, and I'm gonna get into lips. So my favorite lipstick of all time has to be the Milani. I think it's just their normal lipstick, but it is in the shade Bahama Beige. This is what it looks like. This is what the shade looks like. It is a beautiful caramel nude color, and I just love this color. I'm gonna do this as a lipstick and then throw a little gloss on top. This lipstick is not completely matte. It does have a little bit of a sheen. As you can see, I put it just on the top. It's a very your lip color, but better is how I look at it, and that's how I like it. And it also smells like chocolate, so you can't go wrong with that. Okay, so there is the lipstick. And then I am going to go into this ColourPop So Juicy. This is in the shade She's Here. This is their plumping gloss. It's not super minty, not super like super crazy, but I like it, so. Okay, so here is the finished look with the Aquasurance J-Cat Compact Foundation in the shade Natural. This is what it looks like at the end with everything on. I really like it. I think that it makes my skin look very pretty, very skin-like. I don't think that the finish is too matte or too dewy. You can kind of make it more matte or more dewy depending on what you like. But I think it's a really good product. I would definitely give it 2 thumbs up. I would be very interested to see how it kind of responds to like a full day wear test, how it is out in the sun in the middle of the summer on a hot day with a lot of humidity. It would be very interesting to see, but so far, just wearing it a few times in the apartment, around the house, I really like it, and I think the shade is very good as well. So if you have a similar skin tone, kind of warm, more golden, olivey tones, this is a good match for you. So if you guys like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know what you guys liked, didn't like, and give me some new ideas for the next video. And since we are still in quarantine, hopefully I'll be coming up with another video hopefully this week. If not at the beginning of next week, early next week. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye.